A diplomatic overture, US-Russia talks amidst the ruins. The world watches as a fragile hope takes center stage in the Saudi Arabian desert. The United States and Russia, two superpowers locked in a proxy war over the beleaguered nation of Ukraine, have agreed to talk. This diplomatic initiative, spearheaded by the Biden administration, seeks to pave the path towards ending the two-year-long conflict that has ravaged Eastern Europe and sent shockwaves through the global order. The stakes are incredibly high, with millions of lives hanging in the balance. The talks, shrouded in secrecy and fraught with tension, represent a crucial juncture in this devastating war. The international community holds its breath, daring to hope for a breakthrough, a glimmer of light in the darkness that has enveloped Ukraine. However, amidst this cautious optimism, a crucial voice is conspicuously absent from the negotiating table: Ukraine itself. The intended beneficiary of these talks has categorically refused to participate, casting a long shadow over the proceedings. This unexpected turn of events has injected a significant dose of uncertainty into the already complex equation, raising questions about the viability of any agreement reached without the direct involvement of one of the primary stakeholders. The world watches, waits, and hopes for a resolution to this intricate and devastating conflict. Ukraine's decision to boycott the US-Russia talks stems from a deep-seated mistrust and a firm belief that its fate should not be decided in absentia. President Zelensky, the wartime leader who has become a global symbol of resilience, has made it abundantly clear that Ukraine will not be strong-armed into accepting any agreement that compromises its sovereignty and territorial integrity. "No decisions about us, without us," declared Zelensky, his words echoing the sentiments of millions of Ukrainians who have endured unimaginable suffering and loss. This refusal to be treated as a pawn in a geopolitical chess game underscores Ukraine's determination to be an active participant in shaping its own destiny. This stance is not merely symbolic, it reflects a calculated strategic decision. Ukraine fears that the US and Russia, driven by their own geopolitical calculations, might strike a deal that serves their interests while sacrificing Ukraine's. The specter of the 1938 Munich Agreement, where Czechoslovakia was dismembered to appease Hitler, looms large in the Ukrainian psyche. Zelensky's government is adamant that any path to peace must begin with the complete withdrawal of Russian forces from Ukrainian territory, a non-negotiable demand that has been met with resistance from Moscow. As the talks proceed without Ukraine's presence, the question remains, can any agreement reached in the halls of power truly bring peace to the battlefields of Ukraine? The exclusion of European nations from these crucial talks has not gone unnoticed, sparking a wave of unease and frustration across the continent. European leaders who have stood shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine since the conflict's outset find themselves relegated to the role of anxious spectators, their voices muted in a dialogue that directly impacts their security and stability. The French government, in a bid to reassert European agency, is reportedly considering convening an emergency summit of EU leaders to discuss the situation. This move underscores the growing sentiment within Europe that its concerns are being sidelined in the rush to find a resolution. Poland, a staunch ally of Ukraine and a vocal critic of Russia's aggression, has emerged as a leading voice expressing Europe's anxieties. Polish Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski, known for his blunt pronouncements, has publicly questioned the wisdom of sidelining Europe, warning that such an approach risks undermining transatlantic unity and emboldening Russia. The specter of a resurgent Russia, emboldened by perceived divisions within the West, has haunted European capitals for years. The current situation in Ukraine has only amplified these fears, leading many to question whether the pursuit of a hasty peace might inadvertently pave the path for future conflicts. Looming large over the unfolding drama is the enigmatic figure of Donald Trump, the newly inaugurated 47th President of the United States. Trump, who made a surprise return to the political arena after a 4-year hiatus, campaigned on a platform of swift conflict resolution and a reorientation of American foreign policy away from costly entanglements. True to his word, Trump has wasted no time in shaking up the status quo. His decision to engage directly with Putin, bypassing traditional diplomatic channels, has raised eyebrows in Washington and beyond. While some applaud his willingness to break with convention, others fear that his unpredictable style and penchant for grand bargains might inadvertently exacerbate an already volatile situation. Trump's critics argue that his admiration for strongmen like Putin and his transactional view of international relations could lead him to make concessions that undermine American interests and betray Ukraine's trust. They point to his previous statements expressing skepticism about NATO and questioning the wisdom of supporting Ukraine's defense as evidence of his potential to strike a deal that favors Russia. As the world waits with bated breath to see how Trump navigates this complex geopolitical chess game, one thing remains clear: his decisions will have far-reaching consequences, not only for Ukraine, but for the future of the international order. In the midst of unfolding events, conflicting reports have begun to emerge, each painting a different picture of the situation. Unverified claims are circulating rapidly, adding to the confusion. It is crucial, now more than ever, to verify information before accepting it as fact. As the story develops, we will continue to seek out credible sources and provide updates. The United States has made significant investments in Ukraine, providing both financial and military aid. This support aims to bolster Ukraine's defenses and ensure stability in the region. However, the question remains, will these investments yield the desired outcomes, or will they lead to further complexities? As the conflict drags on, both sides find themselves in a grueling stalemate. The war of attrition is taking its toll, with neither side able to claim a decisive victory. The human cost continues to rise, and the prospect of a swift resolution seems increasingly distant. Recent weeks have seen a flurry of engagements on multiple fronts. Skirmishes and battles erupt with alarming frequency, each side vying for strategic advantage. The intensity of these confrontations underscores the volatility of the situation and the unpredictable nature of the conflict. Amidst the chaos, there are moments that hint at a glimmer of hope. Diplomatic efforts are underway, and there are whispers of potential ceasefires. Yet the road ahead is fraught with uncertainty. Will these efforts lead to a lasting peace, or are they merely temporary respites in an ongoing struggle?